All right. Welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel, as well as the Strickland Podcast Network. If you are listening to this the day after, I am Sam. I am joined by Doug. Knicks win 113-89 versus the shorthanded Atlanta Hawks. Led by none other than Mr. Randall, who decided to give an autograph to James Dolan, who
That's
asked for
right.
one. I don't see that guy getting traded anytime soon.
Not get traded. You better hope it's one of those hey, thank you for your time here
Kiss of death, or
type
like
of
the
things.
Judas kiss to Judas kiss autograph,
Yeah, get
hopefully.
him out of here.
But yeah, I mean he had himself quite the game, including a 19 points in the third quarter. Shooting three ball extremely confidently today, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Um and yeah, I mean everything was kind of like pretty much flowing, mainly because no one else besides him and Quentin Grimes had anything going.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So like it just kind of like happened. It was like happenstance for it to just be his night. And he always goes off against the Hawks in the regular season, dating back to the not
Mm-hmm.
even dating back to the pandemic year, but even before the pandemic, he played like pretty well, I would say,
You,
against the
you
Atlanta
remember
Hawks.
basketball before the pandemic?
I sadly do. I remember glimpses of it, but yeah, I think Randall's played the Hawks pretty well, even dating back to his fake pandemic year. So
Mm-hmm.
this type of performance didn't surprise me. It was one of those performances I was like, oh yeah, this is one of those opponents that he plays well against. Um, we got the Kings coming up where he babies Sabonis, so that's maybe another game where he goes off, and he had that classic fake game last year versus the Kings too. So we'll see. We'll see. But overall pretty good win. I mean, depending on where you stand with whether you want the coach fired or not, and whether this contributes to that, I think these wins buy him more and more time. But in
Mm-hmm.
the meantime, I will enjoy, the Knicks winning basketball games.
It's
Again,
it's hard. It's hard not to enjoy it too. Like they
yeah.
won, and Julius Randle played great. Yeah, I don't know what it's one of those times. You know, you're just like, okay, great.
And they once again held an opponent under 90 points, under
Mm-hmm.
100 points, second straight game, after giving up, what was it, like 24 straight games of over 101 points. So defense is really clamped down. Turns out not playing Derrick Rose will help your defense a bunch. Who could have seen such a wild thing happening? But yeah, I mean, how'd you feel about the game tonight, and where do you want to start with, your observations, I guess?
One thing I noticed that I actually didn't expect the Knicks' third quarter to be as good as it was, especially because Randall and RJ, I think RJ also, they played the entire third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. At least I know Randall did. Like Randall played the entire third quarter because Obi being hurt, and Tibbs is like, "Nah, Cam, you're you're staying on the bench."
Yeah, that was weird to me.
But I I mean the game changed when Murray got injured on that bullshit flagrant foul RJ got when Murray kicked out his legs and landed on RJ's feet, and then they were just like, "Oh, look at that, the flagrant foul," and I'm like, "That's weak." And the Hawks have nothing on deep. Like the Hawks have nothing. Like their guys are in. DeAndre Hunter is always injured. Don Collins is just an empty baskets guy, but still he puts up stats. They have nothing. If Trey or DeJounte go down, they have nothing, and it is just sad to watch. And the Knicks just beat the brakes out of them. Randall was great. I mean, it's that simple. Randall was great. Brunson didn't have anything going. RJ stunk it up again. And thank God for Quentin Grimes and Julius Randle. And Deuce. I mean, you're right, just as simple as taking Derrick Rose out of the rotation. It didn't really matter who they put in, right? It could be Deuce, it could be Cam. It
Cam.
really doesn't matter. It's the fact that Derrick Rose is out. And you just see how much better the team is defensively because you don't have such a weak link at any point in the it's wild. But the defense has played well since they took out Derrick Rose. I mean, it's nice to see they beat the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs seem like frauds to me, but that's fine. The Hawks appear to be frauds too. But
Well, they're also like The
They're hurt.
hospital Hawks too.
Yeah, so like they're hurt and they're not they don't have any depth. But like it was a good game. They won. They played well. Julius Randle played well. And but I do sit there like as I'm watching this game and I'm like, where is this team going long term?
Yeah.
And I just have no idea because like what Randall's going to show up? Because this Randall that shows up, right? We're just like, well, he's all NBA Randall. Keep him. Of course you keep him. He's like, why wouldn't you? And then you're gonna have like he wasn't that good against the Cavs, Randall.
Mm.
So like I don't know what Randall we're getting. Like he'll start off he'll get these hot
It was
starts.
bad versus the Cavs.
Yeah, like he'll get these hot starts, but a big reason why like opponents come back in the second quarter is my theory at least. I could be wrong, and I'd love to hear what you think, Sam. Is because Randall monopolizes the offense so much in the first quarter, the Knicks can't get into any sort of rhythm, so they need the second quarter to establish an offensive rhythm in order to then play for the rest of the game. Like that's what it comes off as, and a lot of the reasons why the teams are coming back. But Randall stepped it up in the third quarter, so it didn't really matter, right? Like he was just bombing threes and just getting to the line and everything, so it didn't ultimately matter. But I think that's a big problem with the Knicks offense right now is Randall taking it over, and then there's no rhythm.
Yeah, and it's even more evident when he doesn't really have it going the way he does tonight.
Mm-hmm.
How much that really hampers us. I mean, even today we saw like they had like what was it, a 12-point lead? It was not even 12, it was an 18-point lead, right? They were like up 38-20.
Which game?
And then
This game?
yeah, this game. They're up
Yeah, they
38
were
to
up. Yeah,
20
they were up big.
in the second quarter, and then the
Mm-hmm.
Hawks go on a 17-0
Oh, run!
run.
Just out of nowhere.
That was insane. And again, that goes back to what you were saying about second quarter, Knicks trying to establish offensive rhythm. A lot of guys were getting shots, but like no one had a rhythm, so everything was falling flat. Everything was
Mm-hmm.
bricking. Um, and then defensively, they just didn't have it. They weren't as
Yeah,
intense
it was.
as
Yeah,
they
it wasn't
should
there.
have been, or as they
Mm-mm.
were later in the game. But I also think the Hawks just missed a bunch of shots too. I think these last two games, it's not only the defense has gotten better for the Knicks, but the shooting luck has kind of returned from 2020, 21.
There is. I do think there's both. I do think it was the big debate during that season. Like, is it actual luck and is it defense? It is the combination of both. I do think in this case, and it's really interesting to see that play out for the Knicks because they seem to do really well defensively. If they don't see shots go in early on, then they can ramp
Mhm.
up their defense. I do find that really interesting that they gain confidence based off the luck. That's how at least it's coming off as. But you're right. It's
Definitely.
like this team usually breaks if teams are making shots early on. Then they're just like, fuck it, I'm not playing.
The heads start dropping,
Yeah.
guys start like shaking their head,
Yeah. So like the
jogging
past,
back lightly on defense.
absolutely. And we saw that. Actually, we saw that a couple times in Atlanta too. Like the Atlanta game, there were a couple like RJ again. My man is. We're gonna. When are we gonna have the RJ? Like we're gonna have the RJ conversation soon, right? The idea that like he gets paid after not being included in the Mitchell trade, and he is just stinking it up right now, right? And you're just like, what is the team going to do? I don't know if we're there yet, but it's a quarter of the way through the season, and he does not look good
At
at
all.
all, at all,
It's really bad.
and it's really concerning, like really, really concerning because his extension still hasn't kicked in, and what do you like? How are you gonna like? You can't trade him. Like I don't even. I don't know. They need to get him right, and I don't know how they're
I'm
going to do that.
I mean both offensively and
And he
defensively.
got cooked by AJ Griffin. He got cooked. He got completely cooked. He just did AJ Griffin just basically did a simple right side drive into the middle of the lane. Nothing fancy. And RJ just got completely blown by. And then AJ Griffin, wasn't he one of the guys who had like a degenerative knee problem coming in the draft? Like something crazy, right? Something with his knee, and that's why he dropped. Is that it? I don't know. I don't know
Wait,
anything
what?
about the draft. Didn't AJ Griffin have a knee problem? That's why he dropped in the draft?
Yes.
Yeah, so like RJ's getting cooked by a guy with knee problems? No, no, it's sad. It's sad.
I mean, the fact that Grimes was out for most of the year, came back, couldn't shoot,
Couldn't shoot slicks.
was still playing better
Mm-hmm.
on both sides
Yeah.
than RJ.
Yes.
Has his shot back, looks even better than RJ, even more.
Yeah.
The fact that RJ has let all this happen and he still hasn't like looked better while Grimes has consistently looked better
You know what makes it
is very concerning.
Yeah, you know what makes it worse is Grimes is doing a lot better, right? So like he's hitting his shots. Quickly shots are starting to fall. Randall is shooting, I guess, with more confidence now. RJ should pretty much just be looking to distribute. I don't know why he's not just passing and playing defense. Like that should just be it until things open up for him. And he's just not doing that. He keeps forcing the action. He got a technical foul when in the fourth quarter when they were up by like 20 some odd points because he turned the ball over and he's like yelling at the ref that Bogdanovich hit him. It's like, RJ, get your shit together, man. You're in a blowout win. What are you arguing about a turnover for? Like it's shit like that where it's so reminiscent of last year Julius Randle, and it's just killing me on the inside because I'm reaching the point where like I don't want to give up on, and like he's still young, he still has like it's basically if the efficiency clicks and he hustles on defense, you see why he works as like a wing guy. Like you see the vision with him. But each game, like that vision is just slowly going away. And it sucks to watch because now it's not just a Julius problem. It's not just a Randall problem. It's not just a Tibbs problem. We're entering, it's also an RJ problem, I think. And I don't want that. I really, really, really don't want that to be the case. But that's one thing I came out of this game. I'm like, I'm really worried about RJ Barrett. I really am.
I've been worried since.
I'm worried, man. I don't
I
want to be
mean,
worried.
you got to be worried because like we paid the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and like it. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's like it's so weird to see what happened with Randall happen with RJ, where dude gets paid,
Mm-hmm.
and then after everyone was going to bat for him all off season,
Yep. Yep.
he comes out and this is what he gives us.
Stinking it up.
It is like the exact same formula that Randall did
Yeah.
last year.
Like, do you know how much fun it was during Randall's All NBA season, just like talking shit, like online about how awesome Julius Randall was? Because
I was going hard body on
because
folks,
it was the best because he
and
really
I got
was
punched
that,
in the mouth come playoff time on
yeah,
Twitter.
right, and he really was that good for the entire season, and then you get hit in the mouth for the playoff, and then you get the uppercut, the combo uppercut the next season. Randall's like, I'm not giving a shit anymore. I got paid, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. We fell for it. And then RJ starts to play better as like the second half of the year progresses. You're like, oh, we're finally seeing it. Things are coming together. He gets paid after not being part of the Mitchell trade. You're like, yes. And he stunk it up in a in like a 20-point blowout. Like he was awful. And you're just like, what is happening? And it's happening over and over again. And it's killing me. It's killing me.
Yeah,
Luckily the Hawks stink because Brunson also did not have it going. Like that's another
yeah.
thing.
But, I mean, Brunson's. This is like what 2 games in a row that he hasn't really looked that.
I know he hasn't looked that good.
Well, I wouldn't. Maybe not 2 games in a row, but like the Dallas game was like really bad because
Yeah,
like
he was not good in the Dallas game. It was one of those where like I don't know, maybe I don't think the game was too big for him. I just think like I don't know, like maybe Dallas just knew him more or so. It was just a weird game. He just wasn't
they
there.
exposed him with the Spain pick and rolls once they wanted to get Grimes off of Luca. As
Yeah,
soon as they did that, it was wraps because as soon as Luca got Brunson on him, it was
yeah.
baby in the post. And yeah, but Brunson, he needs to pick it up because I mean the offense is still flowing surprisingly. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how. Even with guys like RJ and Brunson struggling the
It's
way that they
Grimes, man.
have.
It's Grimes. It's probably
Yeah, I
Grimes.
mean, do you see Grimes? He's constantly moving. I mean, they're
Always
finding
moving.
him on cuts. He's finding guys on drop offs on the drives. I mean, he's doing it all.
He's doing it all. He's locking guys up too. Like
Yeah, he's playing good
locking guys
defense.
up. Like he played really good defense against Luca when he was matched up against Luca. Like he not even just like holding Luca, but like forcing turnovers on Luca. And you're just like, wow, and this is like, a huge height and size advantage too. You're just like, wow, Grimes is like, Grimes is good. And yeah, yeah, I think it's Grimes right now. Grimes has really just helped this starting lineup immensely, and I think it's because he could just lock anyone down, and he's knocking down threes. So it's like, oh shit, if he's going to lock down your best player and he's going to move without the ball and hit his threes when he gets it, like, it's a wrap.
And folks just like clowning on him because the untouchable thing, but like, I
That
mean,
you kind of see why.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like
when
you
he's really
kind of
got it going,
yeah, like when you see it like tonight, you're just like, oh,
he
I get it.
made he made 23 points look easy.
Yeah, that was an easy 23. Grimes is really good. The Knicks have nailed back, well, two 25s in a row, which is absolutely insane that they've done this. It's wild. And Deuce finally hit a three. My boy Deuce finally hit a three, which made me really happy.
He was 1 for 16 before that. I mean, that was like basically the kiss of death right there
Yeah,
for
when
the
he's
Hawks. It let
yep,
them know like this game is over for y'all.
yeah, Deuce is cooking you. Like it's over now. But no, Deuce looked really good again, I think, as well. Like I know his shot's not falling, but he's playing defense really well. He's moving well without the ball. He's passing. He's doing all the things that you want like a guard to do. I don't know, like it's really bittersweet to see some of these guys do really well, and then you have RJ, and it sucks to see because you're just like, all right, well, at least I don't know. RJ makes me sad. I'm trying not to talk about. I keep coming back to him, but I don't want to because he makes me so sad right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's upsetting. Do you think that this is going to allow Randall to finally? Do you think this is like a team's going to be like, oh shit, Julius Randall's back, we should trade for him?
I hope so. I really hope so because
I mean, I hope so.
I mean, what team wouldn't want? I mean, a lot of teams are like, so many teams are like the whole NBA right now. There's a lot of teams that are just like middle of the pack right now in terms of
Mm-hmm.
record. Like the records are so closely
No,
together.
no, they really are.
So like any team can be like, hey, we want to like buy low or even like buy high at this player at this price because we think it can move the needle this much because we think we can rise above these other teams.
Totally.
I can see a lot of teams talking themselves into that type of stuff.
The Knicks have a better record than the Miami Heat, which is wild to consider right now, given how like we've watched the Knicks play. I would love for Pat Riley to like swallow his pride and be like, can we make a deal? Can we get Julius Randle? That would be amazing. And then we could be like, Pat saved the Knicks.
He's gotten like he's reconciled for his past
Exactly.
sins.
Exactly. It's just like, it's all right, man. Well, I'll take Julius Randle off your hands. Just you got to take the shell of Duncan Robinson.
All right. Before we get into some comments, everyone's favorite part of these shows. NBA season is heating up. When I look to get in on the action, I bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pre-game money line on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Download the app now, sign up with code TBPN as you see in the corner of your screen. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code TBPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right. Let's start from the top. We got Brian Benjamin, who is always live, basically live tweeting in the comments, like
I
his
love it.
stream of consciousness.
I love it.
Wow, this one is extreme. Yo, why don't Worldwide West just poison Thibs a little bit just to see what will happen with JB as head coach? Wow.
My man's calling for
A coup?
Brian. I don't think we can support that. We can't let West go to jail for that. Come on. Do you? I think Brian, you should be the one to set the to set the poison up. Don't let West take. Don't let West
Allegedly.
allegedly
Allegedly.
allegedly poison him, Brian.
Oh wow, yeah. So I forgot to bring up this stat when talking about Julius. He is the first player in NBA history
NBA
with
history.
yes, with 30 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 3-pointers made, and 0 turnovers in a game. Yo, if you're an NBA team right now, you should be calling the Knicks phone should be nonstop ringing. Nonstop ringing.
You got to do it.
First player in NBA history.
Dude, make an offer. Please make an offer.
Make an offer the Knicks cannot refuse.
Please. And look, if you need to add RJ to it, I mean.
Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, I mean, first play in NBA history. That's a pretty impressive feat right there.
I like this heat check after he made the swirly three, where he did the Steph Curry heat check from the left side. I kind of wanted that to go in because that would have been really funny if Julius Randle's making heat checks on you. Like, you should just be embarrassed as a organization.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe the Hawks can use Julius Randle.
Do we want anything they have?
I don't know.
I don't think they have anything we want.
I'll take John Collins. Is he going to be out? John Collins not going to play? I'll take John Collins if he doesn't play.
John Collins will be back soon.
No, that's upsetting.
Yeah. So, no.
Let's bring back Justin Holiday.
Do we really want him? I mean, Hawks fans have been complaining about how much he stinks.
Look, I just want someone who's not going to play, so just bring the Holidays over.
You don't think Thibs is going to play Justin Holiday?
No, yeah, that's a good point.
3-and-D, veteran.
Very good point. You're right. Okay, so no. What about...
Thibs is definitely going to play him.
Well, Jared Culver's on a two-way. Maybe Thibs wouldn't play him.
Yeah, because he stinks so much.
Yeah, he stinks so much. You know who he did? You know what he did in this game? He blocked RJ Barrett.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. That was really rough to watch.
My boy, he needs... I don't know.
Does he need therapy?
He needs therapy.
Does he need therapy? Does he need meditation?
Therapy. He needs meditation.
Does he need smile therapy?
He needs a 2-week vacation. He needs the whole 9 yards. He needs to go with Clyde next time when Clyde goes away. Where's Clyde go? Does he go like Turks and Caicos or something like that?
I have no idea, but this dude went on a not even a mid-season, but
it was early
a
season
mid-beginning season sabbatical or whatever it was.
Yeah, RJ needs to go with Clyde on that sabbatical and just regroup and just do something, or he needs to go out to Montana with Phil Jackson and do a peyote trip. Like, he needs something. Someone needs to get into him, just be like, stop it. So whatever you're doing, it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point where I don't know what to say with RJ.
It's tough. We do have Eric Fernandez. I see in the comments. He was like, "Was RJ that bad tonight?" Like, he did. He hit 2 threes. He got to the line 7 times. I don't know, man. I thought Like I
It's
was happy
it's
he got
a lot of it is the defense and like the
yeah.
process of his offense.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's like I know he made his open shots, which is very like it's nice to see him getting to the line. Is also like nice to see, but he's getting cooked on defense. He's driving into double teams more and more, trying
Turnovers,
yeah,
turnovers.
trying to get foul calls, and I you that's something I think you learn in like middle school basketball where you're not getting a call if you're driving into a double team or driving into a triple team. Like you just don't get that call no matter if it's a foul or not. You don't get that call. And he needs to, like someone needs to be like stop doing that. Like just reset, give it to your point guard and do something else. Like it's so insane like what he's doing.
JL says we in fucking hell at 15 points on 4 of 13 shooting is a good performance by the number 3 pick.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it's terrible, man. It's getting bad. It's getting real bad. And we
Yeah,
needed a Julius Randle all NBA throwback just to get a victory out of this team. This team's not looking good, man. I don't know.
it's
I don't
not. I
know.
mean, these wins are nice, but like when you look at the process of the wins, they're very ugly and not like reliable or consistent methods of winning.
The only thing I do think is going to be consistent is the defense because they took out Derrick Rose from the rotation.
Yes, I agree
That I
there.
think is going to be like perfect. Like if Grimes and Quickly and Deuce are all getting like minutes like they did, the defense is going to be fine. Even even with Hartenstein doing whatever he does, like the defense is going to be fine just because of those guys. But offensively, I don't. This team does not look good offensively, like at
Mm-mm.
all. And they really do rely on someone having a big game and just kind of monopolizing everything and creating gravity that way. And that's not sustainable. Like it worked tonight, but I don't think it's sustainable where you're hoping Julius Randle goes on like a heater in the first quarter every single game to
Yeah,
win. And it's great that he's doing it, but that's a coaching thing. That's a thing for the team wise. Like that's not sustainable. And it helped with Atlanta because they're injured and they lost their second best player, I guess. I guess Trey's still their best player. Like they lost their second best player early on. So it's like, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like these two wins are nice. They're nice victories, but some of it may even continue. It's not like the Knicks have a hard schedule
yeah, they
coming
have
up.
like a relatively easy schedule, which is gonna lead to Thibs probably getting an extension at this point if they keep playing like this over these next couple games. I mean, you got what like the Kings, Hornets, Bulls twice, and the Pacers. Like,
Yeah, we're talking like again, like you were saying, like so many teams are so close in record wise. Like we're just talking a bunch of mid. Like that's all it is. We're just having a mid off right now. But the Bulls stink. But everyone else, it's like a mid off. So it's like okay, great. You have no idea what's going to happen.
yeah,
I do want Quentin Grimes to put Tyrese Halliburton in jail. I need
that
that. I need
that
that
that would be nice.
because I only saw this because of the Discord. People are. I think someone asked, "Do you want Trey Young or Tyrese Halliburton?" I was like, "Your point guard." And it's like, "I'm still taking Trey Young. What are you talking
Oh,
about?"
I
Like,
think that was Bill Simmons on his podcast. They were like going through like
oh,
what guards would you take over Trey because the whole Trey report came out, like how he's not a good leader and stuff like that.
I mean,
Um,
he may not be.
he's definitely not. I mean,
Like,
from what I've heard, they don't like him over there in Atlanta. So in
I
terms
mean,
of like the team and the front office and the coach, I don't blame him. Doesn't seem like a he seems like a really cocky type of guy that like, I don't want to judge the guy because I don't really know him, but like from what I've seen, like on the
I get
basketball
it.
court and like
No, I get it.
in NBA media, like he seems like a cocky guy that like, you know, doesn't want to hear shit from anybody else.
It's like, okay, then that's if he doesn't want to hear shit, that's great. But like, you better start performing.
Yeah, I mean these performances where he looks like this tonight, definitely
He
not gonna
looked
cut it.
terrible. today. Like
And he's looked
absolutely
terrible for
terrible.
most of the season. I mean, if you look at a lot of his
Oh yeah,
box
no, I know. I'm
scores,
just like specifically like this game, like he was
yeah.
not good at all. He was just jacking up shots. He was just hoping that the refs were going to bail him out with foul calls, and they weren't going to do it because Grimes is always in really good position. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be really tough. The only way Grimes is fouling is if he misses the swipe. We saw like that was basically what his fouls were, was him missing the swipe and hitting a guy's arm. You're not really going to see anything else, and then maybe you'll get like some weird ticky tack, like bump on a drive or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like Grimes' defense is too good, and the refs aren't going to bail Trey out with that. It's not going to happen.
Thankfully, I mean, wasn't a ref show today. I will say that. So
Did you see the shoes Trey was wearing?
yeah, King of Broadway, whatever it said.
Yeah, it's like okay, Trey,
What a
king,
joke.
yeah, King of Broadway, please.
S. Arthur says Hawks missed shots, but we contested most of those. Not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
open looks tonight. Defensive rotations look really good.
For the most part, yeah, I think so. But it's because of Deuce, Grimes, and Quickly, right?
Yeah,
Like
those three are menace
they're
defensively
fucking
on the
menaces, man.
perimeter.
You can't get anything on them. Tibbs, like Tibbs has so much trouble with like the team, and Tibbs have so much issues with like breaking a zone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Knicks should just run a 3-2 zone with Quickly, Grimes, and Deuce at the top. Like, why not just throw a zone at teams
Mm-hmm.
at this point and force teams to get into the paint off those three guys? Like, I think that should be something they should consider, but that would involve like slightly out of the box thinking, and we know Tibbs is very much in the box thinking, very much.
Very much in the box, deep in the box,
He's
locked
so far in
in
the
the
box.
box.
He's so far in the box. Oh man.
Let's see. Yasser asks, has RJ tried playing any other sports or no?
I mean, he had to have played hockey growing up, right?
Maybe.
He's Canadian. I feel like every Canadian has to play hockey. I don't know what else they do in Canada besides basketball and hockey. Nobody could use. You could probably use playing some soccer. Move his goddamn feet.
He could.
You need some
It would help
soccer.
help the footwork a ton.
Oh God, RJ.
JL says third overall picks since 2016. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Luca, RJ, sad, LaMelo, and Mobley.
I mean, look. I mean, the Hornets are pretty bad without LaMelo, but it's not like LaMelo's doing wonders down there in Charlotte. And I do think Mobley's very good, so that's fair enough. But yeah, it's not.
That's a really rough list.
It's a rough list.
Yes.
It's rough. Oh, so painful.
Yeah.
You know what makes it worse? Like when you just see this, the Knicks also, as much as so much of this is on RJ for like really performing like terribly, the team also has never like put him in any good position.
True.
And you're just like it's so bizarre because you kind of saw it with the like the Celtics kind of like catered a team to it. Luka's Luka. He should have been the first pick. Like the fact that he dropped was insane. LaMelo, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like RJ is definitely one of those guys where he kind of needed a little extra help.
Definitely.
Where
He does.
Really like
The team hasn't done. They haven't done him any favors. I will say that.
Yeah, so it's like he's someone,
but he
like,
also hasn't done himself any favors as of late too.
It's
like it's symbiotic.
Yeah,
it's symbiotic.
They're both coming together right now in this fourth year, and it is just a disaster to watch.
It is. It's very nasty.
Ugh.
All right. Let's see what other comments we have. Hug Life asks, "Where's Cam getting traded? Where's Cam getting traded where he's guaranteed a starting job since that's the supposed beef?" Good. Okay. So anyone that is living under a rock, this references to the reports today by one Stefan Bondi, that said that I think that the Knicks and Cam are looking to, or at least Cam's reps and the Knicks are looking to find a deal because
Mhm.
Knicks' failure to find a role for Cam that suits him. I guess that's the report that's going around. And I guess the role that he wants is a starting job, which he had, and then Grimes came back, and then he didn't have it. So
I mean, he could definitely start for the Lakers. It's just the Lakers don't have anything.
I mean, Lakers are starting what, like Troy Brown Jr. on a good day sometimes. Like,
Outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis. Do you know who has the third and fourth most, averaging the third and fourth, the third and fourth most minutes per game? Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves.
mm,
He could start for the Lakers.
oh yeah, for sure. Like, there's no
He
doubt about
he
that.
could definitely start for the Spurs, but they're tanking. Where else can he start? I don't really know. He could probably start in Brooklyn, couldn't he?
Depends. Yeah. I mean, who's starting for them now?
I have no idea. I don't care about Brooklyn that much. I'll look up right now who's averaging the most minutes. Like I don't follow these. Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton. He could definitely start instead of Ben Simmons.
Oh my gosh.
he could definitely start for the Nets, but I don't know. It's really sad to see the Cam Fam era end. But what could you do? Apparently, there people on Twitter were really upset that he lost his role.
Yes, very upset. I
That's
mean, I'm not too upset. I mean, I'm upset that that the fact that like we go to a 9-man rotation, like, okay, like my suggestion would have been, hey, take out Rose and just play Deuce and Cam, or
mhm.
like, why is that so hard to do? But I don't know. I'm not the coach. I
Yeah.
don't watch the film 3 times, so
No, you don't, unfortunately. But it's also one of those things we're talking about, like the eighth and ninth man of a rotation for a team that's not 500. So it's like picking between Deuce and Cam. It really doesn't matter. So you don't need to get like too upset.
it's more of like people like picking their favorites.
Of course. And it's like you're picking between Deuce and Cam, and you're just like, okay, it doesn't matter. The only thing it would be where if Obi is actually hurt, right? Then you're just like the Knicks don't have any sort of anyone who's like above 6'7" outside of RJ. So like there is a element of wanting to keep someone who's like Cam's physical profile. But
Yes.
but he's also the guy who for like 3 games in a row he'll just play his simple basketball where he can drop an easy 16 and then he can do the Maverick stuff where he's doing behind the back, hezzy Jimbos and slipping on the floor. Like you don't know what you're getting from him. So I get it. But yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
poor Cam. He's gone. Cam Fam era is over.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Cam Fam.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Hug Life says we're a game from the 5 seed.
Are we?
I mean, we probably are, but like, does it matter?
You know what? I mean,
we've seen what happens in the past when we, go for playoff seeds
I
when
don't think they should here. This is where I get torn about. I don't think they should tank though, right? Like that's kind of the thing. Like that doesn't really lead to anything because I do think if they were to quote unquote tank, they wouldn't actually play Quentin Grimes or Emmanuel Quickly or Jalen. Like they wouldn't do some of these things. Like I do think winning and being in important games is really important for young players because they have all the young guys. I think the biggest issue that at least fans are having with the team is they're not playing the young guys. It doesn't really matter what the record is going to be. They're just not playing the young guys. And the young guys, as we're seeing, are carrying the team to wins. So they're probably going to do really well anyway if you play them. So it's like it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the Knicks. There's no downside, but they're not doing it. Like it's so bizarre that what is happening right now with this team. It's absolutely bizarre.
as is most things with this team have
Yeah,
been
that's true.
lately.
Every single year, you're just like, what is this team thinking? Yeah.
JL says, I think this is to our earlier conversation about the number 3 picks. He said RJ should have gotten the keys from day one, to be honest, but they had Marcus Morris taking more shots than him, which was nasty.
Yes.
Shout out Marcus Morris though.
He was shooting 50% on the
from
Knicks
three.
from three, and then the Clippers gave the pick that became quickly, or that like that's how it came. So
That was like the perfect situation ever.
right,
Like we
so
got to
Marcus
enjoy half a
Morris,
season of Marcus Morris
that's
fun,
right,
and then we got
OPEC
Emmanuel quickly
legend.
out of it.
But no, he's right though. Print like philosophically,
Oh
right?
yeah,
The
for
idea
sure.
like you
I mean, we had
can't
Marcus Morris, Bobby Portis, and Julius Randle taking like a
you
whole
can't
bunch of the
can't do
offense,
that, right? Like you draft RJ Barrett at 3, and then you basically
and then
fulfill.
opening night you have Alonzo Trier starting at point guard next
Yeah,
to
like what are
him.
you doing? What are you guys doing as like an organization?
But yeah,
Like
we
like
failed
you
him.
need
We
to
failed
like
him in
you
those
like
departments.
you need to sign and build a team that works for him. And they kind of did that the next year when they drafted Toppin, but Randall went on a heater. like and it just threw everything into this where the team is now. Unfortunately, it's that season just threw everything in for a loop, and I don't think the team has been able to figure out where they actually want to go because of it, because they don't know. Because Randall's going to have games like this, and you're just like, well, yeah, he's clearly the starting four. Like he's clearly a good player, but I don't know if this Randall shows up every night. No one does. We never know what Randall's showing up.
Speaking of which, Eric Fernandez says, I hear you, but Brunson will also be better. Usually, it's tough to see it on the back of Julius chucking threes. He hit them tonight and was awesome, but he was starting to Randall at times. Ooh,
Yep.
starting to Randall. It's a funny term.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that detrimental tonight because the Hawks just absolutely smell like cat piss
Yeah.
tonight.
They
So,
they they stunk it up. And Eric, that is what we usually like to call grundling.
mm,
He is there are times where he's actually no, grundling is when he does the turnovers. He didn't have any turnover, which is what Julius Randle didn't have a turnover tonight.
didn't have a turnover tonight.
Yo, that is well, RJ took all of all of the turnovers, driving to the double teams.
RJ's got his sickness.
It's wild. Like someone needs to take it up. Someone else needs to take the sickness from RJ. He also
Yeah,
I really think he needs to simplify his game. I think he's just pressing way too hard.
of course.
And
I
he
think he's
did
trying to prove that like the contract that he got, like it's justified. There's a lot
yeah,
of that.
okay, and I would just tell him as as clearly a clinical psychologist, as a therapist. RJ, who cares? You got paid. Congrats. Just play winning basketball. Doesn't matter what you do. Whatever you need to do to win.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't care about who cares about the contract.
he does. It's all up in his head.
I
JL
mean,
also says Cam Reddish was asked about reports that his representatives and the Knicks are working on a trade. Y'all seem to know more than me. Okay.
okay, Cam.
I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Cam, we know it's okay. We get it. I support you. I support you. Get out of this. Get out of this Tibbs hellhole. Do whatever you got to do,
Yeah. Do what needs to be done.
and then go and then go stink it up somewhere else.
S. Arthur says Cam didn't even get garbage time minutes tonight.
Nope.
I'm shocked. He is so far in Thibs' doghouse. It's weird that like he doesn't give guys that don't play like minutes, like that are not in the rotation. He just won't give them garbage time. Like Fournier, Rose, Cam, they all don't get garbage time.
So I think for Fournier and Rose, it's more of like it's a veteran respect thing.
So he's like, I'm not gonna throw y'all guys into the garbage
Yeah,
time.
like I'm not gonna do that to you. But I guess for Cam, it's just like yeah, I think we've always suspected this, right? We're always like
Thibs
no,
never liked him. I
never
mean,
liked.
those reports since like the day they got him.
Like
Like
we
Thibs
just
didn't
kind of
like
knew.
him.
It's just like this isn't a Tibbs thing, and I guaranteed like I bet the front office is like Tom, you got to take out Derrick Rose, stop playing him, and then Tibbs was probably like only if I could take out Cam, and they're probably like fine, whatever, man, take him out, like like. But then it's probably like yes, I won.
He
I
was
don't have to
like,
play Cam anymore.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Cam's gonna get. He's gonna get traded soon. When is it? It's was it 8 days till the 15th? He's getting traded on the 15th. That's my prediction.
Yeesh. That's tough.
That's
But
tough.
NBA life.
Can't find a role. He can't even find a role in the hapless Knicks. Hate to see it. With his teammate from Duke.
But I mean, with the way that RJ's playing, like, how can you not give Cam some run? Like,
I know. I know.
and I am someone that is like not. I was not high on Cam. I was like, everyone heard me during the preseason, off season, last season, my whole like Twitter career, like all that stuff, man. Like people have seen my opinion on Cam. So for me to say this means that RJ has to be playing like really bad, and he is. So
Yes. I agree. I'm trying to remember what game it was. I'm looking up his game logs right now if it would ever load. But there were a couple games where I'm just like, Cam looks pretty good, and we could probably
RJ
use,
does not,
and RJ
and
does not, and I'm just kind of like, maybe we could just use Cam's 3-and-D drive game more than whatever the hell RJ does.
yeah.
And like that's terrible to say. Like that's just awful to like the think and consider. But that was a point. I'm trying to find the game. Oh yeah, he did have a 26-point game. He had a 19-point game. Yeah, like he had some games. I don't know. Poor Cam. He's gone. Cam's gone.
Well, I mean, on the other side, I feel like we haven't talked enough about Mr. Quentin Grimes. I mean, we spoke about him in passing a couple times,
Oh,
but
we
I
should.
mean,
We should talk about how good he is.
yeah, I mean, what was it? He made like what was it, 5 threes it is today or 6? I don't
I
know
don't
how
know.
many
He
it
made it look
was.
easy tonight.
Yeah, very easy. Let me just check the box score really quickly. I had it up just a minute ago, but I mean, yeah, it was probably the easiest 23 points I've seen. Great defense again. He was
Mm-hmm.
guarding Trey Young a lot, and was able to, stay with him. Um, Something that's been like plaguing this team previously was quicker guards. So, having someone like Quentin Grimes that's able to be quick and then also as strong as well helps a ton.
His stat line is absolutely wild. So I have it up. So it's 23 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks.
Good shit.
He's. I'm trying to think who would be the best comp for him right
It's
now.
hard to do that because like first we haven't seen enough like consistent run in a singular role.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to do that. But I mean, like, if the shooting keeps up, is Desmond Bain like crazy?
I don't know if he plays like Desmond Bain though, but it is like that similar role, right? The idea of just like the two-way guy who's just gets buckets and plays great defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have like that guy, like they have their two guard, which is pretty incredible to consider. And I hope this lasts. I really do because yeah, they just need it. I think the Knicks just really need just someone like Quentin Grimes. When was the last time we had a guy who was like that explosive off like a first step? J.R. Smith? Like I don't even remember the last time they had a guy like that.
Probably.
And it's so refreshing to see. Just to see a guy just compete no matter what on defense. He's always going to get open somehow. He always gets a shot up too, even if he's contested. Like he's getting a clean shot. He's getting a clean look every single time. And the passing's coming back. Like I think the whole thing was he was a point guard in high school, right? And
Yes,
he
he
tried to be
was.
and then he tried to be a point guard at Kansas. It didn't work.
It didn't work, and then
And
he
then he
became a two guard at Houston.
and now it's like, oh, okay, so he could do all the two guard stuff. And now you're seeing some of the point guard stuff, and you're just like,
It's like
oh,
a perfect meshing of both skills and roles.
whoever told him to kind of do like this inverse where it's like don't focus on the point guard stuff, become a shooter and a defensive player, then the point guard stuff will come around. Whoever like told him to inverse it is like, I don't know, give
Probably
them
whoever was at Kansas, either like Kelvin
yeah,
Sampson
whether
or
it was Grimes, his father, brother, a coach at Kansas, whoever it was who told him to like flip this, I think was just a brilliant move because then the Knicks
it
don't.
might have been Houston's coach. The college coach.
yeah, whatever it was, I think it was just such a smart move to see that. Like, yeah, his draft stock clearly, like, it clearly dropped, right? Because he was the 25th pick.
Hmm.
But goddamn,
I mean, he's a former McDonald's All American.
he's good. Like, he's just really fucking good.
Yeah, I
I'm
think he
trying to
was
look
the
at.
same. He was the All American. I think the same year as um RJ, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
I think so.
Some of the guys that were picked ahead of him, Josh Christopher, I don't even know who that is. Isaiah Jackson, I don't know who that is. Keon Johnson, I don't know who that is. Did we just watch Jalen Johnson play basketball? Who didn't he just foul out in like 14 minutes?
Yes.
Like, these are guys who were picked ahead of him. Trey Mann, Kai Jones, and like, I don't know who these guys are. Those guys were picked ahead of Quentin Grimes. Crazy.
So here,
Crazy.
2018 McDonald's All American. Yeah, it was RJ, Darius Garland, Zion. Quickly was an All American that year
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, RJ Quickly, Grimes had a whole bunch of future Knicks over here. Bo was there. Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Cam Reddish. But a lot of future Knicks teammates on these All
God damn.
Americans teams. See, it was Quentin Grimes, Cam, Quickly, and RJ. All future Knicks. They didn't even know it in that All American game. That's
Yeah, but if we
crazy.
were to, if we were to rank them in order, it'd be like Quickly, Grimes, Cam, RJ.
Aaron Bender says, was Thibs so scared of benching D Rose that he buried Cam with him and created this cover of a 9-man
Yes.
rotation?
Yes. Yes. That is exactly what happened. Listen, whatever it was, he did not want to pull Derrick Rose from the rotation.
Why? Why
Someone,
is he so scared? Does Derrick Rose like have some like dirt on him? Like, what is going on?
it's because Derrick Rose pretty much made him. Like, that's really what it was. Like, why? Like, when we're like, why does Julius Randle get to do whatever the hell he wants to do?
These guys got dirt on Thibs.
Because they're like, because Julius Randle season gave Tibbs Coach of the Year, where clearly now we look back and like, it really should have been Monty Williams, but like, we get why it happened, and now we're just like, yeah, that's what Tibbs is. Like, whoever helps him, I'm pretty sure he was Coach of the Year when Derrick Rose won MVP.
I believe so.
Like, that's what it is. Whoever gets him Coach of the Year, he's gonna ride with you until the end. But yeah, but definitely something. There's something going on behind the scenes that Cam got caught in the middle of. Because
That's tough.
there's no way Tibbs was like willfully was like, I'm going to bench Derrick Rose. There's no way. I don't believe that for a second. Definitely the nerds in the front office, we're definitely going to like Leon's office every single day, and they're like, get Derrick Rose off the court right now. And Leon's like, okay, fine, I'll finally do it. And then Tibbs probably threw a tantrum. It was like, I need to have Cam off too, and they're like, yeah, whatever, sure.
Trying to appease both sides.
Pretty much. That's probably what happened. But yeah, I'm surprised. I was shocked that Derrick Rose was actually benched.
I was
I
shocked
wasn't.
too, but
I wasn't
I
expecting that.
mean, when we came on here the other day, like when they said that like Derrick Rose was only out because it was the
Mhm.
second night of a back to back, I was like,
Right.
okay, Derrick Rose is gonna be back in the rotation, and then Deuce is gonna be out, and he's just gonna
Same old
stick with
shit.
that 9. But no, he actually surprised everyone and stuck with Deuce.
It's because someone heard that in the press conference, like after the game. They're like, "Oh hell no, are you doing this?"
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You were not saying because of a back to back.
So Virgil X says, so are things getting better? No Evan, no Rose. Grimes is in the lineup. IQ may be seeing more time. There was some Obi Randall lineups, etc., etc. Well, I would say things look good right now, but like we know when push comes to shove with Thibs, he can revert to some very nasty old ways. So
they like right now things do look very nice. Like, it is so
we're
refreshing.
winning. The defense looks better.
And it is, again, like, it was the right move to do. You take Derrick Rose out, play someone who is a competent NBA player instead of Derrick Rose, and magically the team looks better. But it's like that every single, especially starting from last year, when push, like you said, when push comes to shove, when the team is faced with any sort of adversity, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
They had no adversity tonight. They had a little bit of adversity against the Cavs. What's going to happen when Randall doesn't have a good first quarter? What happens if he doesn't have a good third quarter? We don't know. So like we need to see what happens when the games are actually closer and on the line. What is Tibbs going to do? Because it's not like he's coaching like some master classes in these victories,
No, he's not.
right?
It's
Because like Julius Randle played the entire third quarter
yeah. There's
tonight.
still some huge issues to which I'm
Like
not gonna like
yeah, like
harp on.
why is he playing? Why is Julius Randle playing the entire
Why
third
did he come
quarter?
back in the fourth quarter? Why did him and Jalen Brunson come back in the fourth quarter?
Right, like there's like little things like that. I think it's because he's so scared that he's going to lose a lead. that
Good,
he
good. He
like
should
that's
be scared.
so that's probably part of it. But it's wild to things like they finally made like Evan like Fournier wasn't providing anything on defense and the offense wasn't there. Tibbs was also using him pretty much wrong the entire time Fournier has been here. So that's smart that they got him out of the rotation. When they finally got Derrick Rose out of the rotation, thank God. So like it is definitely refreshing to see Grimes is starting. Thank God. Like there are a lot of good signs. I don't think we're not going to see like good like truly good times until like we start to see okay, Tibbs is not here anymore, and we see an actual direction with this team because the team is still just kind of floating in no man's land. Like, what are they going to do? Are they still waiting for a star trade? Are they not waiting for a star trade? Are they trying to beef up for the playoff run by trading Emmanuel quickly? Because that's some of
Ugh,
the reports are being.
don't even
There's
speak that
that would
into
be.
existence.
I don't think that can be true because there would be one of the wildest things to consider, like being like trading basically, arguably your second or first best guard. You just be like, yeah, I'm just going to trade him for like a role, like a guy to help. Like for, there's no way that's true. I would be shocked if that was true.
I would make sure that riots are started.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
we're gonna allegedly start a riot at MSG. Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. But yeah, I mean, things are good in the moment. Enjoy it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think too much about the future because I
Nope.
have stopped thinking much about the future of the Knicks as
Nope.
well.
Don't think about the future. Just take one game at a time. Like I was
Yep.
watching this game thinking about the future and I wasn't enjoying it, and then I stopped thinking about the future and I'm like, Quentin Grimes is amazing.
Yeah.
Just treat it one game at a time right now because apparently that's what the front office is doing. They're just treating this thing one game at a time. So just follow along because otherwise you're just gonna be sad.
Yep.
You're gonna be like those sad like Zennial, like those like guys who are like in their like early 40s on like Nick's Twitter who was like, yo, wow, we didn't draft Desmond Bain at the 30th pick, right? Like those guys.
Oh my gosh. If you're upset about like IQ over Desmond Bain still, you probably need to get the biggest grip ever.
Yeah, like don't be that guy. Like that's what you turn into when you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe Cam Reddish is out of the rotation. Like you're turning into that guy, and no one likes that guy on Twitter
No one.
or
No
or
one.
Reddit or on Facebook or even if you're at the bar talking with
No
someone.
matter how much they like seem like they do, no one does.
No one does. No one likes that person. No
Don't
one
be that
cares.
person.
Don't be that person.
Let's see. Are there any other comments we can get to before we end
Oh, we can do
off?
Jordan Bubs. How will he coach against the Kings on Sunday?
I mean, I assume he puts Grimes on Fox.
Yes, that's what I think it's going to do. He's going to have Randall Sabonis,
Of course.
and I think that's like where the main thing is going to be. It'll be he's going to have probably RJ on Herder,
Maybe.
maybe. We'll see. I definitely think he's going to do that. We'll have to
JB
see
on Herder.
who's going to be on
JB
Brunson.
on
Herder
Herder.
Herder might cook Brunson then.
Might, but I mean, you're gonna put him on. You're gonna put him on Keegan Murray or
I
Harrison
don't know.
Barnes.
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. It'll be interesting to see how he's still look. Tibbs is still going to do McBride and Quickly in at the 5 minute mark. That's still going to happen both the
Mhm.
first quarter and the third quarter. That's not going to change. The interesting thing is going to be if Obi is still going to be out, what are they going to do? Because
Eight
entering the
man.
entering the fourth, they went 8 man and they played RJ at the 4. But that slowly got out when RJ was like, I need to have a technical. I need to rail at the ref. So they pulled that experiment really quickly. So maybe we'll see that. I think that would be better for RJ. Maybe they'll help him. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be an 8 man rotation. And I don't know what they're going to do if it's a close game. I don't know. Like I really just don't know how this team is going to look.
Kings are pretty good this year. They're one of the better teams in the league,
And they have
I
an
would
actual
say.
coach.
Yeah.
Like Mike Brown is a good coach. He knows
Yeah.
what he's doing. He's always known what he's doing. Like he's always been good. And I don't. That's going to be an interesting game. That could very much easily be a loss.
Could be.
We'll see.
We will see. I think we will end things off here for tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream as well as the game. Definitely check out everything Strickland related in the description. We got links to the site, merch, Patreon, and Twitter. All great ways to support us. We are also now on Instagram at the strick.land, just in case at any moment Elon Musk decides to press the self-destruct button on Twitter. And
I kind of want that to happen though.
and we are there no more. You can find us on Instagram where you can still get some Strickland related content. We'll be back. The next game of the Knicks is actually
Is
when?
Friday night Knicks
Friday night Knicks
with the boy Robert Randolph. He's going to
versus
make it
at the Hornets
at the
at
Hornets.
Charlotte.
And if the Knicks win, Robert Randolph is coming on the feed. He's going to perform a live show.
We cannot make such bold promises like that.
Robert Randolph's coming on. He's going to do a guitar solo.
Oh my gosh, he's actually gonna give us a scoop.
He is. He's going to give us this. He's going to give us the trade, the Cam trade. Watch. He's going to break news for us.
Oh man, but yeah, make sure y'all tune in on Friday. And we'll be back then. Peace out, y'all.